Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a Wednesday episode of the Degenerate Disseminators podcast. I'm your host, Jordan, and we have our co host, Daniel, with us today.
Hey guys.
So, pretty solid Tuesday. We have a winning day. We go 2-1, up zero point 0.7 units. Whoa, I did that wrong. My apologies. But Magic -5. Trey Young gets ejected, like the bum he is. He wants to go back to his trash can to live in. And the Magic win by 25 points. Really great game for the Magic there. Love to see it. And they take the seventh seed in the Eastern Conference. Warriors Grizzlies game goes over, and the Warriors win. I got to toot my own horn here. I called this game perfectly. I said the Warriors are probably going to win, but the -7 is way too much. So this game's going over, and all of that happened. So we'll take it. I think the final, it was like 2:36. I think we hit it with about a minute to spare. So good work there. However, the Wild team total does go under, unfortunately. They were down 2-1 for the majority of the third period, and they force OT and then score and get the win. So they've clinched their spot. Wish they could have went into OT and won 3-3 instead of 2-2. We would have been fine. But I'm not too mad about it. We still have a winning day. So moving into today, is this the last slate of NHL, Daniel? Is there more games on Thursday, or is this it?
There's more games. I'm pretty sure. Wait, let me check. I think the last games are on Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
Thursday's the final day for NHL.
All right. So NHL dwindling down. We have the next two playing games for the NBA. Daniel has one NHL pick. I have two picks for the playing games. We're gonna, make a pick on both games again. Then I also have a little two-leg same game parlay for one of those games. So a lot of stuff going on today. We can potentially be up pretty big tomorrow if everything goes how it has been to kick off the NBA playoffs. But I'm gonna, hand it over to Daniel first to kick things off.
All right. Coming in hot, number one pick for me. I'm going to take over 5.5 goals for the Red Wings Devils game. Both of these teams, pretty much all season, have been decently high scorers. Their offense has been really good. And to be honest, their defense isn't there. So naturally, they're probably going to score a lot of goals on each other. Looking back on their last 10 games, they have covered the over 7 out of 10 times. So I'd say pretty good odds there. Um, and just this season alone, they have covered the spread by at least 2 points every time. So not the spread, covered the over by at least 2 points every time. So I'd say the odds for this bet are really good. And since we're getting it at what, -130,
-110, I think.
minus
Or, yeah,
115,
115, sorry.
I'd say it's a pretty solid bet. As far as stats go, these teams are honestly, I mean, outside of penalty kill, dead even. Um, the Red Wings penalty kill is the worst in the league at the moment, so I'm sure the Devils will capitalize on that a few times. Um, as far as goaltending goes, Red Wings have it a little bit worse. Uh, Cam Talbot hasn't been that great this season, but hey, it's all right. That's even better for us because the over is most likely going to hit. So, yeah, as far as any side bets go, we're going to take Alex DeBrincat for a goal. He's got 3 in his last 5. And we'll take Patrick Kane for an assist. He's got 4 in his last 5. So, yeah, that's all I got to say. Let's swing the rack over to Jordan.
All right, guys. First game we're looking at is the Heat at the Bulls. Very close game on the sports books. I also did mention in Monday's episode of our playoff preview. This is a very tight matchup. I do think the Heat are more experienced in the playoff setting. They do have a lot more depth. Don't get me wrong. Josh Giddey and Kobe White have been balling the fuck out. Top to bottom, I do think Miami's roster is better. Seems like everyone is healthy, going to be ready to play tomorrow. I think they get it done. If you want to take Heat money line, go ahead. It's at -105. But the Heat are, catching a point as underdogs on the road. I don't mind paying the, extra 0.05 units for it, just in case this game comes down to another buzzer beater situation from Josh Giddey from half court. I really don't mind paying it. But yeah, I went really in depth in this matchup on the playoff preview, so I don't want to repeat I don't want to seem redundant and just say the same things over again. So if you guys haven't watched that video, please check it out. But yeah, I think the Heat's experience and depth is what's going to take them over the edge here and beat the Chicago Bulls team. So to kick things off on the night, we're taking the Heat +1 for 1.1 units. Moving into the Western Conference play-in game, we're looking at the Mavericks at the Kings. Um, Once again, did go in depth in this in the playoff preview. But overall, I do think the Kings have a little bit more to play for. I do think that the Mavericks would have had more to play for after the Luka Doncic trade, but I think Kyrie Irving going out for the season with a torn ACL really kind of thwarted a lot of their plans. Um, and like I said, I just don't know if the Mavericks want to even, put Anthony Davis in a playoff series and risk him getting injured. And having to deal with that in the offseason heading into next year. And yeah, funnily enough, though, these teams are pretty even stats wise. They both score about 115 points per game while also giving up 115 points per game. But I just think this game overall means more to the Kings. They're at home. Um, so far in this plan, all the home teams have won. We have, Orlando and Golden State taking it down. And I do think for this game specifically, the trend continues, but I do think the Heat are going to, win on the road, but I might be a little biased. Kings are laying 4.5 points as favorites here. I'm okay with that number. I would honestly take this up to like 5.5, 6. So I'm more than okay with 4.5, and I think they get it done as they have some more tools available to them. So we're taking Kings minus 4.5 points for 1.15 units. And by the way, for the Heat game, I actually have a side bet of my own. I don't know why. I just think Tyler Hero's gonna have a crazy game. Don't even know what the odds are, but I might sprinkle something on a Tyler Hero 30-point game because he's gonna be seeing some heavy minutes. But like I did mention, I have a two-leg same game parlay. We are looking at the Kings game. Like I said, I think this one is a little more easy to call than the Heat versus the Bulls, which can also be reflected in the betting odds. But like I said, both are giving up about 115 points per game while also scoring 115 points a game. Tell me why the game total is at 215. That makes no sense at all. If just based off their averages alone throughout the whole season, they're clearing that number by 15 points. I do think we see a very high scoring game. I think this game is going to clear 215 by a mile. I could see this going to like 240s even. So for the first leg of that, we are going the game total of over 215.5. And if you guys want to put Kings minus 4.5 in there, I'm all for it. But not a very big parlay guy these days, so I'm gonna play a little safer and just take Kings money line. If you put those two picks together, it is plus 165. We are gonna take that officially and put half a unit on it. And that's gonna do it for me today. As there's only two NBA matchups tomorrow before we head into the weekend, and we get the remaining playing games and the start of round one. Daniel, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Um, Not really. I mean, the Columbus Blue Jackets are almost there. They might beat the Canadians to that wild card spot. So look out for their games tomorrow. I think both of them play their final game. It'll be really interesting to see which team actually ends up taking that wild card 2 spot. But other than that, nothing else.
Alrighty. Before we sign off, guys, please be sure to check us out on our socials on Instagram and TikTok at DD Sports Podcast. Links will be in the descriptions down below on YouTube and Spotify. And if you guys haven't checked out Pikkit already, highly recommend you do. Very useful if you want to start, taking your sports betting a little more seriously and get some money from it instead of making a bunch of parlays and just setting your money on fire. But our link for that will be down in the description below, and you guys do get some free money upon signing up as well, and it's completely free. So keep that in mind. Um, as far as futures bets, I was trying to eye the Celtics versus the Magic, as the Magic did take the seventh seed today. Um, the Celtics are minus 5,000 to win that series, which is crazy. Um, I do think that the Celtics they win that with relative ease. But I kind of want to see these lines. The only line we did get was the season or series winner. So I'm gonna see if we get a series handicap soon. I might make a play on that if the money's right, but we'll talk about that another time. But that's gonna do it for us today. We're gonna kick it into the recap. Heat +1 for 1.1 units. Kings minus 4.5 for 1.15 units. Uh, Kings, sorry, the little two-leg parlay of Kings money line and game total over 215.5 for half a unit. And the Red Wings Devils game to go over 5.5 goals for 1.15 units. That gives us 3.9 units in play, and hopefully we can have back-to-back winning days. And we will catch you guys in the next one.